But yeah, talking about Dom Smith and Zach Short. Zach Short's just not. I don't know who that is. That's not. No offense. Like I just don't. I don't know who that is. They say he's played 100 major league games. I don't know. 187 games at the major league level. I don't believe that.
You shortchanged that man by 87 games, man. Respect him.
No, I know he's played over a full season. He's rocking
Respect him.
a career 58 plus, 58 OPS plus.
Oh, never mind. Never mind. Don't respect him. Never mind. Never mind. He's like a pitcher. Never mind.
We got 61 games, or excuse, yeah, 61 games in 2021. 6 games in 2022. 110 for the Tigers last year. Good lord.
We know what kind of time the Tigers were on.
And he played 10 games for the Mets this year. He put up a crisp 17 OPS plus.
At least it's in the positives.
Yeah, because in 22 he was a negative 50. So it is.
I didn't even know that. See? Improvement. You see it? Improvement.
I don't know like what he does. Like I don't know if his defense is good. Short has this is from Mass Live. This has to be Catillo, I believe. Yeah, it's Catillo. 90 appearances at shortstop, 58 at second base, 39 at third base. Sure. I don't.
Versatility. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
important. Versatility. Yeah.
And they're talking about Dom Smith. All right, because I guess he opted out today. Today was the opt-out date. So it's like you're going to go Dom Smith and Garrett Cooper at first, Zach Short as your utility infielder. Like they DFA'd Pablo Reyes, which was fine. I don't know that Zach Short's, and he's just white Pablo Reyes, it would appear. These are the times we live in. How
many teams has Dom Smith played for at this point? Like 15? I feel like I hear about Dom Smith on the move every single year.
I think it's only 3.
Is it? How is that possible? He on the move it's the Mets.
The Nationals.
The Nationals? It. Yeah, that's it?
Yeah, I'm looking. So he wore 2 different jerseys with the Mets. That's why it looks like 3 on his baseball reference page. But no, he's always. So Heim tried to trade for him last year, or he was rumored to be interested in Dom Smith, which is as fireable as anything anyone says. And then he was with the Nationals last year. You could argue it's 3rd best season. Like I was going to say he's had moments, but not really. Like he played 89 games in 2019, which was longer ago than I would like to be talking about Dom. So he came in 13th in MVP in 2020. You want to talk about the 2020s? You want to talk about the 2020 seasons? These fucking LA teams rack up all the titles, and Dom Smith was getting MVP votes.
Here we go. Why we gotta drag LA into this, man?
They're the only ones who won during that time.
They played in the same surroundings as everybody else, man.
Not really. Everyone else was like, yeah, this clearly doesn't count. And they were like, let's go harder. Get Obama on the phone. Let's force him to play.
Get Obama on the phone. It's crazy.
That's what happened.
It's not, but okay. We can go with that.
Literally what happened in the NBA. I don't know what happened in the MLB. I don't think they would have listened to Barry.
You're right. So that can't fault you for that one. You're damn right. They wasn't listening to that man for shit.
No, but the NBA, LeBron got his pal on the phone and forced everyone into the bubble. But we're here to talk about how Dom Smith came 13th in MVP in 2020, which is outrageous.
I mean, so the Red Sox would be getting a player who got MVP votes, is what I'm hearing.
Sure, he was on the Cubs as recently as yesterday. So I don't know. He had a good spring. People aren't talking about Dom Smith's spring enough. 909 OPS.
Talk yourself into it, Nick.
I mean, there's This is what we do now. We get the Dom Smith, and I'm not saying like, oh, go make some crazy trade, like for a real player. I'm not saying that at all. Plenty of times you see these mid, and I'm not making this argument for Dom Smith either, but plenty of times you see these smaller mid-season acquisitions happen, where a guy just at least becomes a rotational player. Is Dom Smith versus Bobby Dahlbeck like a real debate? It would appear so. It would certainly appear so.
I don't even know what to say to that. Dom Smith and Bobby Dahlbeck.
Duking it out.
I, man, all I know is it's rare that you get to that you get the opportunity to sign a former MVP vote getter to a minimum deal. It's rare. It's rare. You don't get that opportunity every
13th is crazy. What was the rest of this voting?
That's a great question. That's a great. I think
Oh
Freeman won it that
boy.
year, right?
Freeman came in first. Mookie was second. Machado was third.
Soto was
Soto was
fourth.
fifth.
Oh, fifth.
Fifth. Tatis was fourth. Marcelo Zuna from the Braves, and your local penitentiary. Mike Yastrzemski came in eighth. That's tough. Trevor Bauer came in 10th. Trevor Story came in 11th. Oh, boy. Uh, Will Myers. Will Myers is here. He came in
Will
16th.
Myers.
Yeah.
Will Myers.
Ryan Tapera. He came in
All
18th.
right, all right, all right. That's enough. You made your point.
This was a real year in sports.
Although I feel like the Ryan Tapera one was just a clear troll, but I digress.
He's on the list. I don't know what you want me to tell you. We
I
got
know, and I'm saying
Dinelson
that
Lamet.
voter is a troll. That's all I'm saying. That voter is a troll. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that shit. That voter is a troll.
Dinelson Lamet came in fourth in the Cy Young voting. Another former Red Sox.
I mean, he got waived recently. You could re-sign him.
All set. Kyle Lewis. This was Kyle Lewis's Rookie of the Year. That makes more sense. Poor Kyle Lewis. I thought he was going to be a real person.
It really brings me great dismay that somebody with K Lewis is that bad at baseball. But I digress.
I get it. He was supposed to be next. He was supposed to be in that outfield, and just nothing. Just absolutely nothing. Brutal. So yeah, this is what the Red Sox are working with right now. I also don't get like you sign a shortstop, third baseman. I know Devers has been banged up. It looks like they're going to be using Devers and Tyler O'Neill more as DH, especially if Yoshida's actually hurt, which is still new to all of us. But I don't know. I don't know what the plan is. I don't know if they're going to be fucking around. This was my biggest concern with Rafaela when Story went down. I don't want him bouncing back and forth. Either he's playing shortstop the rest of the year or he's playing center field the rest of the year. I don't want him bouncing back and forth. It just feels to me like you're fucking up his development. He's already struggling enough at the dish, even though he just had an unbelievable historic game in that 17-0 routing. I don't need him focusing on anything else other than hitting and playing whatever position he's playing the rest of the year. If you want to fuck around and move him all over the place, I can't imagine you're going to get the best out of him.
Yeah, and I mean, he can play two premium spots really well. It shouldn't be that hard to just pick one and keep him there. It shouldn't be that hard.
No.
Shortstop, center field, both important. This is not a debate of you're trying to find somewhere to hide him. Like, no, he's a legit elite level defensive player.
Right.
Just pick one of the positions, keep him there, and call it a day.
And to be fair, like we gave up on Duran, the center fielder. He's looked great since Rafaela took over short. Duran's looked like he's more than capable of being out there. So if you're not getting burned in center, I don't really see a point to moving Rafaela all over the place.
I agree. If Duran's going to just hold is going to hold his own, and I mean he's what an average hitter at this point at the moment. So he's an
Yeah,
average
103
hitter,
OPS plus.
right?
Yeah.
He's holding his own. He's holding his own in the field. Like there's not a, and I mean he has game wrecking kind of speed, so
Sure.
you can just play Rafael at short and be done with it. And I can't imagine
Do
being
you
bounced
think?
between back and forth, between multiple spots back and forth is helpful for the whole mental side of things.
No, no, it just can't be. Do you think the Yankees made a mistake letting Rob Refsnyder go?
I was not prepared to answer questions about Robert Snyder today. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Ah,
Do I think
We, listen, we do a baseball show, and the only guy we've talked about so far with a 226 OPS plus is Rob Refsnyder, not Aaron Judge, not fucking your sack of shit players, Rob Refsnyder.
whoa, 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 whoa. There's no need to call him sack of shits. Juan Soto is not a sack of shit. Thank you.
Does he have a 226 OPS plus?
Does he have 8 at bats like the Ref Snyder does?
Come on, now I mean now you're just not paying attention. 190, paltry. Uh,
How many at bats does Robert Ref Snyder have for the season?
he has 36 plate appearances. I don't know
Oh,
what you want from the
oh,
man. The guy's
excuse
playing.
me. Large sample size theater here. Excuse me.
It's not just lefties. If it were only against lefties, I would agree. But he's hitting righties, hitting lefties. He was wearing
Man,
Logan
through
Webb out.
36 plate appearances, Oswaldo Cabrera had like a 500 WRC plus, man. Leave me alone.
People
Leave me
were
alone.
gassing him up too. I don't know what you want. That's a rookie trying to make it in this league. This is a 33-year-old veteran having his prime career right now.
This is a 33-year-old veteran having a fake ass run, is what this is.
I don't know, man.
This,
It's
that shit is
just
fake. That shit is fake, man. It's fake. It's okay. Like, he's contributing right now. That's good for him. I like Rob Russ Snyder.
doesn't sound like it.
This is fake though. I mean, I like Oswaldo Cabrera. I was calling that shit fake too for weeks on
Two
the
years
show.
ago,
Fake.
2 years ago in Boston, he put up a 143 OPS plus. This is kind of just the neighborhood he hangs out in as a member of the
Well,
Red Sox.
143 and 226 are not in the same neighborhood. Thank you.
Those are
And
certainly
Rob
in
Ruff's not.
similar neighborhoods.
No, they're not. We don't have to do this. We don't have to do this at all. Like 140, 226 is legit Barry Bonds territory. We don't have to do it. As a matter of fact, did Bonds ever do two? I think he did. Whatever. I'll look at his baseball reference page for the
One would
millionth time at
assume.
some point. Yeah, I'll look at his reference page for the millionth time at some point today. But
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
226 was
Ref's
between
not a
the.
can hit. Like I'm not here to argue
Yeah.
that he can't hit. 226 is just fake as hell. We don't have to do this. It's fake.
So Bonds average a 256 OPS plus from 01 to 04. That was his average. The lowest of that stretch was 231,
What the fuck was the highest then?
268.
My God,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. But yes,
Which,
yeah.
which, which I don't want to talk about it, but that was age 36, which is 3 years from now for Refsnyder. So if much like Barry Bonds, he's coming into his own around this time, who's to say? I can't tell the future. Can you all of a sudden?
No, but I will say this. I will say this in defense of Rob Refsnyder. If spring training open, well, let's say he continues hitting at a high clip the rest of the year. Not 226. Nobody's doing that. He continues to hit a high clip for the rest of the year, and the Red Sox give him somewhat regular playing time against lefties and righties. Right? If he comes into next season with a size 10 fitted, you win. I'll come on. I will gladly give you your flowers and say, hey, man, you win. He comes in
He,
with the size 10 fitted, you win. I'll give you that. You win.
he's
Massively
he's
bigger.
not
Okay, you win.
he's not a small-headed man as it is, so I don't think that's too
I
far
mean,
off either.
Barry Bonds wasn't either, and then
Right.
he became
You're
Popeye the
starting
fucking
to
Sailor
see you're starting
Man.
to see the parallels, is what I'm hearing.
Hey man, I gave him his flowers as I could. If I come in, February and I see him with the size 10 fitted on, I will surrender. And be like, all right, man. This is what's gonna happen.
As just a Boston Red Sox, again, he came in, I want to say halfway through the 22 season, but he has played 156 games for the Red Sox over the last 3 years, and he's rocking a 120 OPS plus, 800 OPS, 417 slug. And a lot of that has been, at least over the last 2 years, just against lefties. He's been hitting righties. Do I expect that to continue? Not necessarily, but in terms of options we have, I'm fine with riding it until it stops being what it's been.
Um, I mean, yeah, that's kind of the approach to take. The Red Sox don't have that many fucking healthy bodies, so yeah, yeah.
No, and
Why
he's
you
not
going with
healthy
that?
either. He's also not healthy.
Who the fuck is healthy on the damn Red Sox?
I mean, Emmanuel Valdez is the healthiest person alive. If he's been able to stave off everything that's happened, David Hamilton extremely healthy. Devers has looked good since his break. Like he's genuinely been very, very good. Drawing a lot of walks. His walk rate's at a career high right now. I think he walked 2 or 3 times last night. Just spitting on pitches he used to swing at. Even earlier this year, he was swinging at. That's why, like we talked about Judge at the beginning. To get two on established players in April is so stupid. Like January Acuna, I think hit 1 home run. You know what I mean? I think he did the same thing
He's
last
been
year and then won
bad.
MVP.
He's been bad. Yep.
We know what these guys are going to do. April's such a weird month. You're just getting back into routines. You're playing in cold fucking games. And I understand October is cold too. Not the same thing. It's not that winter cold. It's that summer cold you're coming off of. It is not the same at all. Devers, yeah, he didn't come out of the gates swinging all that well. And now we look up, he's played, what's this, 19 games, and he's got an 872 OPS, 145 OPS plus. Like, to just ever talk negatively, when he's 35, yeah, I can see definitely having some conversations like, oh, he might be cooked. He's 27. There's no need to be worried about Rafael Devers' bat. His glove, you should live in a constant state of worry. We know it's bad. His bat,
I'd
again,
argue the opposite. Like, why were you know exactly what he's going to do with his glove too? Like, why concern yourself with it? Like, being disappointed and upset is different, but like a state of like
more
I'm worried about his glove. Like, why should you be? You know he's not a good defender.
more it's right, but the worry is like, when is the ball going to get hit at him? Is it the second inning? Because then
Okay,
it doesn't
fair,
matter.
fair.
If it's the ninth inning, yeah, it could be troublesome.
Yes, yeah, 100% true.
Valdez has 10 RBI. Ceddanne Rafaela still leads the team with 17 RBI.
Listen,
That's the Red Sox. That's the bubble.
listen. I know baseball fans are insane, and I feel like no sports fan bases spend more time unhappy than baseball fans because,
Sure.
buddy, they are just mad as hell all the time, year round. It kind of doesn't even matter who you're rooting for. It's just there's a perpetual state of mad. Now, with that said, and I understand that I in this same show earlier in the show said I understand a little bit of skepticism towards Aaron Judge. One, he might not be completely healthy. Two, he's older. He's 32. Like he's older. You never know when a decline starts, even if it's not some massive decline. You never know when a decline starts. But I can't imagine any bigger waste of time than concerning myself with Rafael Devers. That is the biggest waste
No.
of fucking mental bandwidth that there is. He's just gonna do what he does on both sides of the field. It's hard to find more predictable players than Rafael Devers. He's gonna do what he does. That's just what he's gonna do. He's gonna do what he does. Yes, he's gonna have, and I understand slumps in April hit differently than slumps in like June. For
Sure.
fans, I get it. Like it's the opening week or month or whatever of the season. You're like, oh my god, he's 2 for 32. I can't believe it. Da, da, da. I get it. Rafael Devers at the end of the season, he's gonna have his 860 OPS or whatever it is. He's gonna hit his 30 bombs. This
Right.
is year in, year out. He's fucking 27. I couldn't imagine concerning myself with Rafael Devers unless you're a fan of somebody like the Yankees and you have to face him, and he hits 3 home runs every series you play against him. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I could see that being annoying. Since 2019, which is the first season he became like the full time third baseman, he was an 18 as well, but he only played 121 games. That was like the first time they really tried to incorporate him on a more consistent basis. So 19, he played 156 games. Since then, you're looking at a 131 OPS plus, 877 OPS, 144 home runs, 187 doubles. Like, this is a guy that
He's
just
gonna do what he
produces.
do. He's gonna do what
Yeah,
he
he
do.
just
There's a lot of things to concern yourself about with the Red Sox. I mean, mostly their fucking health at this point. But I can't
right.
imagine Rafael Devers being one where you're like, man, is he ever going to recover? Like, yes, bro. Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes. Simulate the end of the season,
it's
look at the back of this
people.
baseball card. It's going to look exactly the fucking same as it always does.
The complaints I hear are all contract related, and I can't do it. Like, it drives me up a wall, especially when you look forward and realize like his contract's probably going to make up 80% of your payroll in 2 years. Like, they're not signing anybody. They just aren't. I don't like. I'm not even trying to be funny. There's no one they're going to be signing. All of the guys on the team and all the guys in the minors are going to be your roster moving forward. There's nowhere to play people
Yeah,
genuinely. Like,
legit.
even if you think like, oh, this guy, like, no, there's nowhere on the roster unless they do trade Casas or something like that. But that would be incredibly stupid. Like, I don't. There's just no spots on the roster. Roman
I mean,
Anthony's going to come
to be
up, take one of
fair,
these outfield
I think
spots.
I think it depends on what you would trade him for. But he is a power hitting corner infielder, so it's like I don't like what would you really expect to get for him? I'm not sure. But now that you brought up the contract, I see people talking about Judge's contract too in a similar kind of way. Like, oh, we can't have this kind of production from somebody making this kind of money. This is kind of first of all, Judge was never living up to that deal. Never. He was never living up to that deal. He's 32 now, and he got like 7 years left. He was never living up to that deal. They did not sign him to that deal for baseball reasons and solely baseball reasons. Because there's a world where I mean, bro, Giancarlo Stanton's right there. Like he signed a similar kind of deal. He signed it earlier at that, no less, right? And
Sure.
he's younger. He's like 34 now, if I'm not mistaken, and he's largely fallen off a cliff. That should be a cautionary tale. They didn't sign Judge for baseball reasons. I don't necessarily fault them for it because I'm gonna take the 3 or so good Aaron Judge years, good to great Aaron Judge years, if we even get that at this point, and move on. Like it ain't my fucking money. I don't care. It's not my problem. But they did not sign that man for baseball reasons. They signed that man because A, he's the captain of the damn team. B, he puts fans in the seats. He sells jerseys. And honestly, now that I'm talking about this, because I haven't given Aaron Judge's contract a moment's thought since he signed it. All of this stuff just gonna make it more infuriating if they let Soto walk. This is more because it's like
Sure.
if you're not signing Aaron Judge for baseball reasons, which I mean, there was never a word where he's going to live up to that deal, unless he's David Ortiz, and nobody's David Ortiz, right? Like nobody plays to 40, hits like a 160 OPS plus at 40, and was like, you know what, I've had enough. Bye. Like nobody does that except him, right? Unless he's
Right.
that, like he was never living up to that deal. At least with Soto, like you signed Soto to a 12-year deal, bro. That's taking him to 38. So like I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the excuse. I don't want to hear well, he was out of our price range. I don't want to hear none of that shit. Like if you outbid somebody, he goes to the other team because he just doesn't want to be here. Fine, that happens.
Right.
Cool. That it's not gonna happen, but cool. If you I don't. We weren't willing to go to 600. We had a hard line at 575. I don't want to hear none of that shit. Spare me.
Well,
Spare me.
especially
I don't want to hear it.
if you're already at a gaudy number, like
Right.
$25 million, it's not going to be the breaking point. Even if someone offered him like 610, you offered 550. I don't think that's a gap at that number. Like, it just isn't.
It's not.
Um, but if they're like, no, where our max is like 300 and he gets 550, and they cite the Judge contract, you'd obviously rather have Soto than Judge, right?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
I'm just making
And
sure.
I mean, if they would have let Judge walk and somebody else would have signed him to that deal, I wouldn't even have been mad. He was 31 when he
Sure.
fucking signed it. It would have been all right. Thank you for your time. I wouldn't have been mad if they didn't, because there's clear baseball reasons to not do that shit. The problem is they could have signed him long before that, and we've had similar rhetoric
Big
with
time.
Devers. They could have signed him long before that and saved themselves like $200 million and the hassle, and they didn't. And then
Oh,
homeboy
I
hit
mean,
62 home runs, and then that was that.
even Judge, his last year. I know this is like 3 years old now, but they brought him to arbitration when he was begging for a new deal, like absolutely begging, and they wouldn't match whatever his camp said. I don't remember the exact numbers before the season, but it wasn't anything
Yeah, I
like
don't.
out
I remember they offered
outlandish.
him 7 for 175, and he turned that down. I don't know what the team
Right.
was. I don't know what Judge and his reps were throwing around. But I know what he turned down, and I can't imagine if that was offered and he turned it down. I can't imagine that they were that far apart, given that we didn't hear. We would have heard. Like we would have heard, like, oh, that's insulting. How could you do that? We would have heard that kind of shit coming from their camp. So I can't imagine they were that
Sure.
far off. And if you're not that far off at 7 for 175, I can't imagine why you couldn't have gotten the deal done. But this is my opinion.
Right. I mean, in the world where he just takes like the Padres offer, I know my not even him being out of the division because that never would have bothered me. In out doesn't matter. But Xander's still here, which would be great. And I've seen a lot of people lately. Red Sox fans are clocking every at bat this guy has,
Mm-hmm.
and it's infuriating me because the one stat I do not see is he's played 187 games for the San Diego Padres since the beginning of last year. For a team that cannot field a major league roster on a nightly basis, I don't know how that's not the one you lead off with, especially knowing if they had signed him before the season, like we're talking about with Judge, if they'd signed him before the season, we're not talking about a, what's the number again? $280 million contract. Like that was never, the Padres just needed to pay somebody. I don't
They
know
sure did.
why. Well, I do know
They
why,
sure did.
but they were going to pay somebody, and Judges wasn't going to be 280. They tried to give Trey Turner like 400 or some silly shit. They got Xander for 280, and the Red Sox were going to get him for like 170. So if you want to say, yeah, the Red Sox shouldn't have signed to 11,280, no fucking shit. No one in the world should have signed him to that. It's an insane deal. They also, the last offer, official offer they made him before the season started was 4 for 80. So yeah, they never really wanted him here with an actually insulting offer. But if you're trying to tell me the Red Sox would be in a worse position with 187 games played since the beginning of last year, when they have the guys they have been paying have not played that many, not even remotely close, not even 100 games off that pace, you're an insane person. Genuinely insane.
I mean, he's clearly on decline, though, man. That has to be accounted for, right?
I don't know. Last year he was very up and down month to month. He finished with a 120 OPS plus. You know what I mean?
I
Like
mean
I don't.
that was a bad faith question. I don't actually
No,
mean
I
that.
know it was, but
Oh,
people
okay,
have
fair.
been saying that
Okay.
in genuine faith, and it
Mhm.
drives me insane. Like this is his age 31 season. He had a terrible month of April. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, if you look at it this way, no, the Padres tried to hit him lead off, and he's playing a new position, and he didn't hit well during it. They've slid him down in the order. He's going to keep playing. Like they have no choice. They signed him to an 11-year, $280 million contract. He's going to keep playing.
Yes, he is.
You know what I mean? I don't. It's. I do wonder at what point his production would make it so that they're like, listen, we'll pay 200. You know what I mean? Like we'll pay 180 if we just can't have this guy on our roster anymore. At what
I feel
point
like we're not that far
that
away
number?
from it.
Probably
I feel
not.
like we're not that far away from it. Like not even having to do with the player. Like I think there's a world where he's still good and they still come to the same conclusion. They're just like, all right, yeah.
Big
Oh,
time.
you got a 120 OPS, but it's not 140. We got to get you out of here, bro. Sorry, those are rules.
Yeah. I mean, anything to get him back, I'm all for. All for.
But shout out to the Padres for trading the Yankees
Yeah,
once. So
insane.
appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Just all in all, one of the dumbest decisions, like one of the dumbest stretches a team's ever showed was that the Padres from last offseason to this offseason. Michael King, shout out Michael King, an absolute dog shit. Just, just terrible.
Hey man,
Negative point.
they used some of the capital they got to get Dylan Cease. That can't be ignored here.
Great, great.
They
Michael
got
King,
Michael
negative
King
point
and
three
Dylan
WAR,
Cease.
five
What's King's
ERA. Cool. They average like a 4 ERA.
I mean, Dylan C's been really good for them.
2.78. You know what I mean? He would be a swing arm in our rotation, but other teams that's
Yeah,
like
all
the
right,
Rays, so
all
that's
right.
good.
Talk that
Cooper
talk.
Criswell was $1 million, and he's been better than this. Those are just the facts.
Oh, well, I can't argue. Okay, the Padres
But
got
Michael
compensated
King,
very fairly for once, so that's just the facts.
Michael King, the centerpiece, 2-3, 5 ERA, brutal,
The Padres
brutal.
got compensated very fairly for once, so in the end, and it'll show
3.2
better in time.
innings, 3.2 innings against the vaunted Colorado Rockies, 4 earned runs.
All right,
This is how you
all right.
need
Coors Field is tough, man. We don't have to do this. Coors Field is tough.
here.
It's tough to
Coors Field
navigate for
stuff.
opposing starting pitchers, let alone people who have never pitched there before. It's tough to navigate.
Yeah, 6 earned runs against the Phillies at home.
I got nothing for that one. You got it.
Yeah,
I got nothing for that one, man. You got it.
I mean, just zero against. So this is a month ago at this point. 0 earned runs against the Giants, who can't hit at all. So good. Congrats.
Hey, man. The trade will show itself to be a good one in time.
Can't imagine. They haven't even re-signed Cease. Am I forgetting a contract? I don't think so.
No, I think Cease has what,
No,
2 years of
free
team
agent.
control left. This year and next, I
He
believe.
must be free. Yeah, free agent 2026. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's. I mean, great.
Shout out to the Padres. Love you guys.
Just the dumbest team I've ever run into in my entire life, by far. Oh, Dylan Cease leads the league in hits per 9, like in a positive way, not negative.
I'm not surprised to hear that. I mean, how many does he walk per night? Like 8?
No, 3.5.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're just not giving up base runners at all. Okay, fair enough.
No,
Barely at
he's been
that.
good.
Barely. Okay.
He has in fact been good. Michael King has never been good and will never be good. So that's what
This
you get
Michael King
for
disrespect has
trading.
got to stop. He was good last September.
Yeah, exactly. He's had 1 month where he's shown he can be decent sometimes. Congrats. Sick.
Oh man, this Michael King disrespect got to end, man. Got to stop. He's
I was
gonna
told
show
that
you.
the Padres got an ace.
I don't know who told you that. It damn sure wasn't me. I don't know who told you that. I told you they got a good pitcher.
I didn't say it was you.
I know. I'm
wrong
just
too.
clarifying. I don't know.
That was incorrect as well.
We don't know that. It's May 1st. It's May 1st. We don't know that.
He's been pitching since 2019. We do know that.
I mean, he was a good reliever.
15 and 20.
He was a good reliever.
He was he was an okay reliever. I don't know.
He was a good
good
reliever.
is.
He was a good reliever. And he was really good as a starting pitcher in September.
When everyone's playing their best lineups, for sure. When everyone's got major league players out there, yeah. He's been unbelievable spring training pitcher.
I mean, he shut down the Blue Jays multiple times in that stretch.
The Blue Jays just, I don't know, are they going to start selling? Blue Jays, the Rays, these are very unserious teams right now.
Also, shout out to them for hiring Don Mattingly as their offensive coordinator. Shout out to them. I appreciate that so much. Because there was a story that Mike Petriello tweeted, I want to say it was yesterday, that it's like Ted Williams, Wade Boggs, and Don Mattingly talking baseball. And Don Mattingly says, I prefer to hit the ball to the ground. And I'm like, man, if that doesn't explain the Toronto Blue Jays right now, I don't know what does. That's what one sentence. I don't even need the rest. And Ted and Boggs are politely calling him a moron. I'm saying this funny. They're like, bro, you had how many home runs? He was 30. How many doubles? 45. And they're like, bro, but none of those are on the ground. None of those are on the ground, you see. He's like, I don't know. I think I have better chance of getting base hits on ground balls. Nothing backs this up, though, Donald. Nothing. Not one thing backs this up. and it's just it's a long piece. I'm gonna send it to you. But yeah, man. Shout out to the Padres one more time. Love y'all.
Nah, they can fuck themselves. But we'll see. Will the Yankees be in third place this time next week? Remains to be seen. Who do you guys? We have two more against
Yankees got
the
the Tigers this weekend.
Giants. That's not a real team. We play the Twins. Twins
Nine
and
straight.
Braves for two.
Twins have won 9 straight.
Yeah, no, we play real teams. I don't know what to tell you. And then the Braves. I don't know if Chris Sale is going to be involved. It's only two.
Chris Sale pitches today, right? I want to say, is it
That
today?
would, I mean, if he does, then that would for sure line him up with,
I think
with
he pitches today.
Tuesday. All right. So we'll see Chris Sale next week and we'll record after that. So we'll see if the Red Sox can keep winning despite themselves. And if the Yankees can remember how to hit. That's what we'll figure out by next week.
Please, enough with the ground balls. You're killing me, Smalls.
No, I'm fine with it. We'll see everybody next week.